Welcome to the new work week. Monday, January 24th is the day. It's time for a new update with Chris's Corner, and with a potentially winter weather event or two coming late in the week, thought it was a good idea to do a video update to get things started. We'll start with Monday. That's the easy day. It's winter, or the return of winter, with a northwesterly wind getting gusty at times. We'll put the maps in motion. This is our in-house Futurecast model showing the clouds rolling back in late at night during the morning hours on Monday. And the blue on the map indicating some patchy snow showers and snow flurries. The greatest coverage will be to the north of St. Louis, north of a line from, say, Moberly, down into Lincoln and Pike County in Illinois and Missouri, and also in Illinois for that matter. But overall, generally looking for scattered coverage of snow showers, breezy conditions, and just that overall look and feel of a cold January day. I don't expect any accumulations any more than a dusting or a light coating, and even that would be hard to find. Looking longer term, the item of interest for everybody is the mid to late week period, and there are two streams in the jet stream to focus on. They're really the key players. The northern branch of the jet stream holds the key with the winter cold, the deep winter cold, and that starts to settle back to the south across the Great Lakes out of Canada and into the Midwest. At the same time, a strong southern stream system enhanced by the El Nino jet stream will have a fair amount of moisture to work with. It's a pretty formidable looking storm coming out of the southwest, middle to latter part of the week. The big question is which one will be stronger, the southern stream storm or the cold air, and how those two interact. But right now, it's a slam dunk that there's going to be a fairly significant winter weather event somewhere from Kansas and Oklahoma eastward into Missouri or Arkansas, Illinois, or Kentucky and Tennessee along the Ohio River. I would have to really say anywhere south of Interstate 70 is under the potential for accumulating snows, and the further south you go, the higher the risk goes for significant accumulating snow. I'll get to a map for that here coming up in just a second. As most of you know, the Canadian model is fast becoming my model of choice, especially during the winter season. It has just outperformed and outshined pretty much everything over the last two seasons especially. But what I've got here is the 0Z Canadian update, and we're going to start you at Wednesday morning, 12Z Wednesday morning, so 6 a.m. Wednesday morning. Pretty easy to pick out the two branches of the jet stream, the polar jet running around the polar vortex over central Canada, and then the southern branch of the jet stream with the embedded upper level energy coming through the western United States, getting ready to emerge into Texas and New Mexico. How those two streams will interact with each other will be the key to the forecast. As I push you forward in time, this is going to be Wednesday evening, and this is when we have the chance for a little bit of a light mixture of rain, sleet, and snow. And it's primarily going to be driven by low-level warm air advection pushing up over the top of the advancing cold dome. There's really nothing strong to tie to here at 500 millibars. Down here at 700 millibars, you can see a pretty healthy slug of moisture, which is indicative of low to mid-level frontogenesis or low to mid-level warm air advection. And as we looked at the precip, there is a band of precipitation stretching from west to east across parts of Iowa into northern Missouri. Roughly, this is pretty much north of Interstate 70. And it does look like the main thrust of the warm air advection associated with this lead push will be north of Interstate 70, and any accumulations look pretty minor at this point, generally an inch or less as it stands right now. That's with this first push of the storm system. However, as we move you through time, a little bit of a break going into the day on Thursday as precipitation slows down, but the newest model here, the Canadian, is speeding up the ejection of the main upper level energy. In fact, it even has a closed low at 500 millibars heading into western Oklahoma. It is feeding into a confluent region, which would tend to weaken it, but oftentimes these things are shown by the models to weaken too quickly, so we're going to have to watch that potential as well. Cold-wise, with the second wave of the system Thursday evening into Thursday night, definitely looks like it will be cold enough pretty much area-wide for anything to fall as mostly snow. At 700 millibars, a closed circulation, lots of moisture in the warm air advection that regenerates ahead of the main system. And as you'd expect, looking at the 700 millibar moisture, there's a large fetch of precipitation. Most of it's a pretty solid shield of rain, changing to freezing rain, sleet, and then snow on the northern periphery, spreading out of Kansas into southern and central Missouri and southern Illinois. Push you forward in time into the into the the Friday morning time frame, and you can see that system is beginning to shear out as it merges and phases with the northern stream system, but still a pretty solid-looking shortwave here coming into southwestern Missouri with the Vortmax. The Canadian is pushing the surface low, at least the operational Canadian, into southern sections of Arkansas and central and northern sections of Mississippi and Alabama. Meanwhile, the 700 millibar moisture is getting squeezed out and compressed as the confluent flow and the drier air works in from the north. Overall, it's still painting a shield of pretty significant precipitation over southern Missouri into extreme southern Illinois and down towards the Ohio River. So, what's it all boiled down to for the last part of the week? Well, this is the Thursday night into Friday, the second part of this storm. The potential is going to be greatest to the south of a line, or along and south of a line, from roughly Rolla to Potosi to Sparta and Mount Vernon. In areas down there to the south, you have the highest potential of significant accumulating snow. And I'd be feeling pretty good about it if I lived in that line from Rolla to Potosi to Sparta or Mount Vernon. The further north you go, things become much less certain. It's really too close to call a 50-50 shot from Herman to St. Louis to Vandalia, or roughly along and south of Interstate 70 in both Missouri and Illinois. These are areas where literally the snow could be quite heavy on the south side of the county, say for instance in Franklin County near Sullivan, could be pretty good snow, but on the north side of the county near Union or Washington, it may be significantly less or no snow at all. It's going to be that kind of a sharp cutoff on the northern edge of the system, and considering we're still several days out, it's impossible to pin down with that kind of certainty. So too close to call along the I-70 corridor. Chances for any snow or any accumulating snow north of that area, the northern third of the viewing area, is very low, so you guys are pretty much out of it at this time. So the forecast of record for me heading into the work week looks like snow showers and snow flurries with breezy conditions on Monday with a high near 34. Partly cloudy skies, not bad on Tuesday with a high of 33. The first phase of the change in the pattern comes Wednesday with a light mix of rain, sleet, and maybe some snow. It doesn't look like much, maybe a dusting to an inch of accumulation, especially areas north of St. Louis. And then on Thursday, it's cloudy and colder, 32 degrees. The cold air deepens Thursday night into Friday with developing snow. Possible accumulations along I-70, likely accumulations along and south of that line I mentioned earlier. 25 the high on Friday, and by Friday night, even in areas that don't get snow cover, it's going to get bone-chilling cold once again. Low temperatures dropping into the single digits area-wide, and it looks like next weekend will be quite chilly as well.